Hey, all you trucking pros out there, maybe you are a carrier out here, the owner of the fleet, the owner of the company. You may be the one in charge of all the marketing out here and figuring out how to keep those seats completely filled, and even more importantly, you might be retention, trying to figure out how to keep them in your seat. Now, I've talked with several groups out here that have different departments. At the end of the day, you may have different departments, but we all should be communicating together to figure out a solution out here, because you may be the one out here right now, as we have worked with thousands of carriers out here through this process and seeing that everybody is hurting in figuring out how to get quality leads and actually get them without taking the bank out, right? We've seen this. Maybe you feel the pain out here of putting your money into an agency that goes out here, and you're trusting them to actually put this out to different platforms that are producing you leads, and then you're really trying to figure out what is an efficient thing, what is actually a good lead generation that I could say that it makes sense for the kind of money that I'm spending out here. You know, the thing is we're all stabbing in the dark at some level, and a lot of companies are taking advantage of that, and they have control of where your money's going. And a lot of times it may go out and they're just throwing it out to these places that have some level of, quality lead generation that's coming. But you know what? What's happening is they're probably putting it out to a bunch of candidates that do not need to be seeing it, and it's costing you ad spend out here, and it's not efficient. That is what's happening when you put actual people on it that are not constantly in it 24/7 studying it and figuring out how to do it, and agencies just can't do it. I know, because I started out as a traditional agency out here in my agency, and just really know that you could not give the quality of quality that you need to be giving to individuals that are out here if you don't have somebody 24/7 working on one account and studying that account constantly. That's what I truly believe. We've got some solutions. You may be feeling that right now. You may be feeling going out to the job boards and over and over again, those leads you get to, and you don't get to maybe right away. The lead says, I put this in hours ago and I've already been contacted by 100 people. It's because you see a lot of these job boards selling your lead multiple times, making money. And we call it double dipping, but it's even more than that. We're talking 10, 15 times probably at some level, that are going straight to your competitors, by the way. And that really comes back to knowing that you have recruiters. And the turnover in recruiters in this business, a lot of times, it doesn't allow you to have the ability to teach those individuals efficiently in the beginning, especially if you don't have a really in-depth program to do so, to understand how to actually handle candidates that have gone through the gamut with 100 different trucking companies, or multiple calls, or your competitors, or somebody maybe a little bit more seasoned in it and knows how to really twist those things when it comes to comparing other companies and what to do out here. So you may be feeling that pain, not knowing if your actual recruiters are really able to utilize and really get what they need to be getting out of the leads when you actually do get them. Understanding if you're spending a lot more money than you should be for a quality lead, and not getting as many quality leads as you need, because you constantly, week after week, have trucks that are not filled, and that means that you are not getting the message out right, and you're not doing it efficiently. And then even more importantly, when you do get those candidates, figuring out how to actually keep them in the seat for longer than that 3-month average that's out here. And it's getting worse, by the way. It's not just 3 months. A lot of people are throwing that 3 months around, but it's worse compared to what we have been doing with our carrier partners and groups that we've been talking to and helping. We're seeing this get worse. We're at a 100% turnover rate right now. Most of you know this, and at a massive shortage of drivers that keeps continuing to grow because of the industry. We do see the light at the end of the tunnel, though, and we've got exciting things. If this is you out here that's feeling these pains right now, wondering if you're throwing your money out the door, wondering if you're going to be able to put your money in the right place to get the leads, and when you do, are you getting as many as you should, and constantly coming up short to find out that you don't have the leads that you need, wondering if your recruiters are actually doing what they're supposed to do when it comes to closing those candidates, and then more importantly, keeping those candidates when you have them. If you're feeling this pain, you are not alone. Listen, my name is Josh Hicks. I'm the founder of the Simba 7 Companies. We specialize in direct lead generation when it comes to whether we are just giving you a candidate that we've marketed for and doing the traditional, what is set out here, third-party recruiting. We have done that for more than 20 years with some of the biggest names out here, some of the biggest shipper names that you can imagine, and are stationed out of Northwest Arkansas, so you can kind of put who we actually work with, just about everybody in the Northwest Arkansas area at some level at some time. So if you are somebody out here that's looking for something like that, you've probably worked with us, you've probably heard about us. If you haven't, well, here we are. Not only that, we're a full media company. We've been out here and we're in the tech world of figuring out how to make some of the best kind of tech out here that's going to really show you how to spend your ad spend in the most efficient way. I'm excited to talk to you about that. Been out here for more than 20 years myself, working in the transportation industry. Started out direct hire, media, marketing, training recruiters, thousands and thousands of recruiters we've trained, worked with thousands of trucking companies out here, some fashion or form, and we've got over 1.5 million now combined in our database of truck drivers out here that we work with in some fashion or form. We're excited to bring to you what we have tested with multiple carrier partners already. We're seeing results unbelievable out here, and it's in the tech world side. We've got artificial intelligence coming up in the world right now that we see that's being implemented in different things. We've got blockchain, these kind of things out here. We're starting to implement those pieces into some of our tech. Our tech now, we do have an intelligence tech that is on our direct short form hire app that is going to give you direct app where nobody else is touching it, by the way. We don't see it, we don't control it. It goes directly to you, and this app is got an intelligence piece, proprietary software development that we have done that is going to give us the analytics that we need through the algorithms that we've created that's going to go out here, and it's going to put all the different things that are in the industry that you're spending money right now on ads, and you're spending lots of money on probably some of them. We'll get more into depth with that when we reconnect through this, but we will take that, it goes back and it learns and it spits back where the best place for you to actually put your ad spend into instead of you just throwing it out to the masses. A lot of these companies out here are just throwing it out. Even Facebook has a great geo-targeting option out there, and it's a mile window that you can throw it out. Just think about a mile. Even if you did a target down on truck stop, for instance, you got a mile outside of that and you're putting your ad spend down on this, and what's going to happen there is you may have 100 businesses within that mile, and if anybody clicks on your ad or looks at it because they're going to be seeing it through social media platforms, through different platforms out here, then you're actually spending on that cost. That cost is going straight to you on individuals that don't care to see you, and you don't care to put your ads out too. So this is the problem that we're having out here, and we've found a way to really hyper-target into those candidates, find those platforms that actually work, that have the candidates that you want to see, and really tailoring something to you that gives you efficient ad spend out here, and as much as saving up the 50+% on what a lead would cost you out here to date on this quality lead. Now, more importantly, let's get into when you get that lead, we're going to find that solution for you and find those targeted leads and really figure out how to help you spin that ad spend through our proprietary app here on our short form app that never gets resold, by the way, to anybody else. This is your lead. You get this lead, and you get to hold that lead from here on out. Now, what we try to do through that app is get it to you within a 5-minute window, which you know is unheard of out here. You'll have a lot of people tell you it's instant, things like that. A lot of times it's going through a system. They've got to control it. Not in this app. It goes directly to you. We're trying to get it to your email within 5 minutes, if not a phone call coming into one of your reps to handle that candidate while they're hot. So now they don't have 100 different people, as they've put an app in, hit them. And what a lot of the times is going to happen is you're going to get to them before those other candidates, because they're going to the normal boards out here that we're talking about. It's going to take a window of time before it finally gets to them. So you're going to get to that candidate before and hopefully have them locked down. From that point, we want to keep that candidate. And that comes into another one of our apps that we've partnered with out here. And this is unbelievable results I've ever seen out here when it comes to a retention piece. Instead of spending your money on individuals and trying to put a retention team in place and having a bunch of hands in it, not knowing when they need to go to the driver, they're playing guesswork out here. They're playing guesswork of when to talk to a driver. I know that you know what I'm saying here because it's very hard to put a finger on when that driver's emotions are high or low. And you know, you may have heard that this individual was mad, but it could have been a day after that it got back to you and or somebody that actually mattered, and that candidate's either long gone by then or he's already made his mind up. Our app gives the ability to instantly give a heads up to what's going on through the driver communication to the fleet manager, to somebody else or whoever else you want on that thread to be able to do it. And it's instant. So this is what we are seeing right now. We've got some amazing stories on this that is really happening out here. We're seeing an amazing turnaround on that turnover because of this instant access to the emotions that are running high or running low at point in time, and it's something that you can tackle out. You have a level of people that are being able to see it. They can keep somebody in check through the process if somebody needs to be communicating. And a lot of times what happens is individuals will not do it unless they're pressed to do it, and they let something sit too long. Next thing you know, you're losing a driver candidate, and it's costing you money. What else happens after that? Your truck's sitting, and that's costing you money. So not only are you paying the cost of what the driver costs, but up to $900 to $1,200 a day if your truck's sitting, depending on what kind of contracts you're on, is what we've seen on average. So making this a priority is big. Instead of hiring tons of staff, third-party groups out here that are just smiling and dialing, calling and calling people, not knowing what's happening, our proprietary software here has been a game changer for multiple people. Let me share a story with you. We've got a carrier, just as real quick here, over 500 truck carrier, not a small carrier at all. Over 500 trucks, doing very well. Got some, great contracts out here, wanting to grow, started putting more drivers in. That growth was happening. Next thing you know, it started shifting the other way. And losing over 100 drivers in a short period of time. We had already talked about our tailored program that we had, and it wasn't really registering very high because it's different. It's something different out here, which we have to do different if you want different results, obviously. This is where it was really tripling them up. Went through these few months and started seeing this loss just ironically after we had talked about this program, this tailored program we had. Through that process, they've lost hundreds of drivers, hundreds of trucks are sitting, and next thing you know, it's a massive problem with contract. You're losing a lot of money. Well, they came back to us, went through our tailored program. We were able to turn that around. Within about a 3-month period, we took 130+% turnover rate all the way down to 95 to 90% turnover rate, gaining 35+% on a turnaround within 3 months, having the ability every month gaining more positive, putting another 100 trucks back to work, by the way, and getting it back up on its feet within a 3-month period. And this is just the beginning. We're seeing massive amounts of movement right now, positivity. Bottom line, this is right back to, just imagine if you were a 100-truck fleet. If you're a 100-truck fleet, the average cost out here is $6,000 up to $20,000 on our analytics that we've ran through multiple companies out here of what it costs to get a truck driver in seat and really pay to get them there. $6,000. Let's just take $6,000 at a fleet of 100 on 100% turnover rate, which the industry is right now. You are literally looking at about $72,000 a year that we could save you if we could save one driver a month. One driver a month just on this retention program that we've got. And I'll tell you what, that's a very small goal set to do what we're talking about here. There should be no reason why you're not salvaging at least 4 a month and 72,000 back to your bottom line. Some people could turn their business around. If you're a bigger guy, you're able to, take that hit a little bit harder, but you don't want to take the hit. You can put that money back into positive things. These are the things that we're talking about right now. If you're interested, if you're somebody out here feeling the pain that we've talked about, and you're tired of just running into the same situations and getting in those processes that just don't work, it's the same old thing. It's like a broken record, and you're just sick and tired of it. I know what you're feeling. We started out as a direct recruiting agency before we ever got into media and these things out here. And a lot of people have asked me, clients that I've had for 20 years, why did you get into the media side? Why did you get into this side of it? It's because it's the future. And really, I could put 1,000 recruiters out here right now, and we've trained thousands of them. We've got hundreds of recruiters out here. We could put 1,000 recruiters out here right now that work full-time actively. We could never supply as many drivers as needed on the turnover. It's just a constant deal. So we're not worried about taking ourselves out of a job or things like that on direct hire. We're more interested in figuring out how to bring you the carrier partner quality in a well-rounded opportunity when working with our team and our partners that we have out here. We want to be able to figure out how to get you the quality leads in the most efficient way, cut your costs down to where you appreciate, and you can come in here and we can give you quality. Not only that, keep those drivers in your seat. And doing that, we have proven concepts out here of what we've got and proven systems right now that we've got that are working all the way from the communication that we have through our proprietary apps, the intelligence that we have through our apps. The things that we are doing out here is going to change. It's already changing the dynamics of what we've been seeing out here in this business. I'm very excited to bring this to you. I really want to get on the phone with you. Listen, below is going to be a link of where you can actually sign up your information, just a little bit of information, put it in there. There'll be a schedule once down there that you can actually schedule a time that's open. I'm probably going to get to you before that schedule. I'm going to try to actually call you and communicate with you before by your information, but I want to go ahead and set up that appointment just in case, and I want to try to get to you as soon as possible. We are very excited about getting this out there. I want to really introduce you to the team and the dynamics of what we've got going out here, and we're really going to show you where we can save you some money. And this is not something that is going to break the bank, by the way. We're going to get into some details, customize, put a tailored program together. It's nothing like you've seen out here. I've called multiple groups out here, and it took a while to get through because they're like, well, it sounds kind of like we're doing this. There's nothing like this. You've heard the same terms, but you haven't heard what these things are actually doing when it comes to intelligence, when it comes to the analytics, the algorithms that we've got in here that we're able to study instantly by the intelligence of our apps. The system that we have and the processes that we have, nobody can touch them and nobody has. So we want to get this to you as soon as possible and be the first ones out here. We've got great stories to share with you about what's happening. Really, we'll put ourselves out there for you and show up to the game as well. If you're interested in this, I hope you are. If you're in this business, I know you are interested in figuring out a solution. We've got one for you here, several of them for you actually. Click the information below. Just fill out that information real quick. Set a time for me. Let's get on here and spend about 15, 20 minutes or so. We'll get on and kind of get to know each other, see where we can help, and really just kind of communicate. I'm excited about it. Until then, we will see you on the other side. Hey, thanks for sticking around. And by the way, you like videos like that, check this out right next to us right here. It's going to be exactly what you need. If you're new, subscribe down below. You'll get updated on all new information coming. And if you comment below, I'm going to be pulling somebody on a monthly to give free coaching away. Looking forward to it. See you on the other side.